Hey there, Crash Course enthusiasts! I'm Teacher Fran, and we have an exciting lesson ahead of us today. So imagine this, you're in the kitchen making a salad dressing with oil and vinegar. What happens? They don't mix, right? But add a little egg yolk, which contains lecithin, a type of phospholipid which we will be discussing later on, and suddenly they blend into a smooth emulsion. The thing is, phospholipids in the egg yolk help mix water and oil, just like how they help mix different substances in and out of our cells. Crazy, right? Welcome back. So today's discussion is actually a special episode because you guys will be learning inside a real classroom along with actual students. Say hi, students!
Hi!
Good morning, class!
Good morning, Miss!
And a pleasant morning to you too, our Crash Course enthusiasts. Well, with that, you might be thinking, what are we learning today? Well, with that, I want you to read all together our intended learning outcomes.
Define phospholipids. Differentiate the types of phospholipids. Draw and name structures of phospholipids. Demonstrate a positive attitude towards learning about biochemical processes and their implications in health and disease.
Thank you very much. Now, upon having read our intended learning outcomes for today, who can tell me their idea of what we are going to be learning right now? Phospholipids. Right, thank you. So did our Crash Course enthusiasts get that one too? I believe so. Hence, to start our activity for this morning, let's start with our introductory activity that I call picture equations. So you guys will be decoding pictures that have twists. So to start, let's start with
Phospholipids, Miss?
correct. How about this one?
Is it sphingolipids, yes?
Right, thank you. So take note of all those words because we will be learning about it as we go along our lesson for today. So without further ado, let's learn about phospholipids or phosphoacylglycerols. Let's read this paragraph all together.
What are phospholipids? Phospholipids are the main component in cell membranes. They line up in a bilayer arrangement, acting as a barrier to water-soluble molecules. Phospholipids are a group of lipids that are phosphate esters. The presence of the phosphoryl group results in a molecule with a polar head, the phosphoryl group, and a non-polar tail, the alkyl chain of the fatty acid. Because the phosphoryl group ionizes in solution, a charged lipid results.
Right, thank you. So in learning phospholipids, we remember two key points. A polar head, which is made up of one molecule of glycerol, and a phosphate group, and the phospholipid tails, which are made up of fatty acids. Moreover, the head is polar because of its phosphate group, which makes it hydrophilic, which is water-loving, and it is soluble in water. On the other hand, we have the fatty acid tails, which are nonpolar and hydrophobic, which means they are water-hating, and they are insoluble in water. Hence, we can concur that phospholipids are amphipathic because they have both hydrophilic and hydrophobic bonds. Let's take a look at this example here. This one is your glycerophospholipids or your phosphoglycerides. The thing about phosphoglycerides is that they are the most abundant membrane lipids. Now, phosphoglycerides contain acid groups derived from long fatty acid chains at C1 containing your saturated fatty acid, at C2 containing your unsaturated fatty acid, and at C3 they are joined by a glycerol through a phosphoester bond. So do you have any questions or clarifications?
None so far, Miss.
Now let's take a look at this table diagram here containing your different types of glycerophospholipid along with its head group, substituents, and its net charge at pH 7. So now can I ask the students who can draw me the structure of a phosphatidylglycerol?
Me, Miss! Phosphatidylglycerol. In the general chemical structure of a phosphatidylglycerol, R1 is a fatty acid, and R2 is a fatty acid as well. It also consists of 3 phosphate backbone, ester bonded to either saturated or unsaturated fatty acids on carbons 1 and 2.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you very much. So to proceed, the simplest phosphoglyceride that contains a free phosphoryl group is what we know as phosphatidate. Now, when added with an extra hydrogen atom to the phosphate group, it becomes phosphatidic acid. So as you can see, they have 2 OH molecules here. Now the question is, what happens when a phosphoryl group is attached to another hydrophilic molecule?
Complex phosphoglyceride is formed, miss.
That's right. So now let's take a look at this table diagram right here. So the most common example of a complex phosphoglyceride is your phosphatidylcholine, this one right here, or more commonly known as lecithin. Now the question, what is lecithin? So the lecithin is a type of phospholipid. Now, what do you call again a molecule that has a polar head and a non-polar tail?
Amphipathic molecules.
That's right, thank you. Now, lecithin is a major phospholipid in pulmonary surfactants. When we say pulmonary surfactant, they are the ones who keep your alveoli lubricated. They are also amphipathic in nature and is the key to cell membrane structure and function. They are also found in egg yolks and beans, remember my example earlier, and it also acts as an emulsifying agent in ice cream. Now, who can tell me what an emulsifying agent is?
An emulsifying agent aids in the suspension of triglycerides in water. It serves as a bridge holding together the polar water molecules and non-polar triglycerides.
Very well said, thank you very much. So before we continue to the next part of our topic, let's answer these 2 fill-in-the-blanks questions just so we have an insight of what we have tackled so far. So blank are a group of lipids that are phosphate esters.
Phospholipids.
Very good. The simplest phosphoglyceride is a
Phosphatidate.
Right, thank you very much. So if you're ready to learn more about sphingolipids, clap once. Clap twice. Okay.
Yay!
Alright, so what are sphingolipids? Let's read this paragraph all together.
Sphingolipids are lipids not derived from glycerol but are amphipathic. Sphingolipids are composed of one molecule of the long-chain amino alcohol sphingosine, one molecule of a long-chain fatty acid, and a polar head group that is joined by glycosidic linkages or phosphodiesters.
Thank you. Now let's take a look at the structure of a sphingosine. When a fatty acid is attached in amide linkage to the NH2 on carbon 2, this one right here, the resulting compound is a ceramide, which is the structural parent of all sphingolipids. Is everyone following?
Yes, miss.
Alright, now let's take a look at this table diagram right here, containing the different types of sphingolipids along with its head group constituents. Now, to learn more about the 3 subclasses of sphingolipids, let's play hangman. So to start with, any guesses?
W.
Wrong. E.
I. O.
S.
Sphingomyelins.
Correct. Now next one.
A. S.
I.
O.
Glycosphingolipids.
Correct. Now last one.
A.
E.
I.
O. U.
Y.
X.
S. Glycosides.
Correct. Give yourselves a big round of applause, everyone. First, let's discuss sphingomyelins. Now, please read this paragraph all together.
Sphingomyelins contain phosphocoline or phosphoetanolamine as their Single myelins are present in the plasma membranes of animal cells and are especially prominent in myelins, a membranous sheath that surrounds and insulates the axons of some neurons, thus the name single myelins.
Thank you. So as you can see here, here is a detailed structure diagram of a sphingomyelin, which resembles phosphatidylcholines in their general properties and charges. Now on to the next one, based on the table diagram I just showed you earlier. Who can name me our next structure?
Glycosphingolipids.
Yes, thank you. Your glycosphingolipids. Now what are glycosphingolipids? Let's read this paragraph all together.
Glycosphingolipids occur largely in the outer face of plasma membranes. They have a head group with one or more sugars connected directly to the OH link at carbon 1 of the ceramide structure, containing no phosphate.
Yes, thank you. Now, the most common example of a glycosphingolipid is a cerebroside. Now, a cerebroside has a single sugar linked to its ceramide, which is the structural parent of all sphingolipids. Now, who can tell me what are some examples of a single sugar?
Glucose.
And galactose.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much. Now, those cerebrosides with galactose are found in your neural tissues, while those with glucose are found in non-neural tissues. And you guys want a fun fact about cerebrosides?
Yes!
Cerebrosides are also sometimes called neutral glycolipids because they have no charge at pH 7. So who can name me this structure?
Ines, I believe it is a structure of a glucosyl cerebroside.
Correct. Now how would you know this was a glucosyl cerebroside?
Because of the ceramide structure missed with the linkage of a glucose on its head group substituent.
Thank you. Now do you have any questions or clarifications before we proceed?
None so far, Miss.
Alright, so who can tell me the last subclass of sphingolipids?
Miss, gangliosides.
Excellent. So now, to know more about gangliosides, let's read this paragraph all together.
Gangliosides are the most complex sphingolipids that have oligosaccharides as their polar head groups and have residues of sialic acid. Sialic acid gives gangliosides negative charge at pH 7 to distinguish them from globosides.
Right? Thank you. So, who can tell me in what way does a ganglioside differ from a globoside?
A globoside has a neutral charge at pH 7, while a ganglioside has a negative charge at pH 7. This is due to a sialic acid residue.
Right? Thank you. So now let's take a look at the structure right here so you can understand more why a ganglioside is considered one of the most complex sphingolipids.
Let's take a moment to reflect on what we have learned so far and how it relates to our own health and well-being. Now, how do you think phospholipids contribute to our overall health?
Phospholipids are essential components of our cell membranes. They provide structural integrity and fluidity for cell function. They also play a huge role in membrane transport, which is vital in maintaining bodily homeostasis.
Thank you so much. Well, it seems to me that you have grasped the concept of phospholipids very well. So thank you so much for listening. Now, Crash Course enthusiasts, was that a fun learning experience for you? We've taken a deep dive into the world of phospholipids, the unsung heroes of our cell membranes, keeping everything in check and making sure our cells stay healthy and functional. We've defined phospholipids, differentiated its types, drawn and named its structures, and lastly, we have demonstrated a positive attitude in learning its biochemical importance. So whether it's keeping the insides of our cells cozy like a raincoat, or helping mix water and oil in your favorite salad dressing, the truth is, phospholipids are everywhere, making life possible one molecule at a time. So if you enjoyed learning about phospholipids, stay tuned. In the next episode, we'll be exploring the fascinating world of non-saponifiable lipids. This is Crash Course Chemistry in Lipids. Until next time, stay tuned and keep exploring the microscopic marvels of life.